Legal Aid at Work was founded in 1916 as the Legal Aid Society of San Francisco, and it was founded to fight for the rights of working people. For the past 45 years, the organization has been led by Joan Graff, who took a really small, scrappy organization that was on the verge of bankruptcy and transformed it into really a national institution.
For a woman to take over an organization in 1981 was unusual. And what strikes me the most is the evolution of the organization from its very small beginning to a large, impactful organization all under Joan's tutelage, and Joan really had the vision.
When I first met Joan at the Legal Aid Society in 1981, it was at a rickety old building, rat-infested, I'm sure, at 3rd and Mission. The Legal Aid had gone bankrupt, and that's why Joan was brought in. So she needed to raise money. She went to the firms one by one.
One of the most fateful and I think most important decisions that Legal Aid ever made was the basic decision to be independent of federal funding. It makes the organization reliant on private funding and donations, but it frees the organization to be fearless in taking on the cases that need to be taken on.
Joan appreciated that Black folks seem to have more problems than others. The racial equity program was devised to help people of color in their employment discrimination cases. The best thing I can say in terms of the Black firefighters case is our client became the first Black chief of the San Francisco Fire Department.
I worked on the California Family Rights Act and the Family and Medical Leave Act. That was exciting because we were able to go beyond California and to bring kind of the experiences and lessons we had learned about CFRA to the Family Medical Leave Act table.
In 1995, the Americans with Disabilities Act had only been in effect for about 3 years. So almost everything that anyone was doing under disability rights law was brand new. Joan supported me in starting a special project called the Libra Project to advocate for and enforce the rights of people with mental health disabilities in the workplace, knowing that it was going to be this important area of law.
Joan made a concerted effort to try and stitch together direct services at the organization with the litigation program. The Workers' Rights Clinic is our way to get help to low-wage workers throughout the state. We actually train law students to give legal advice to low-wage workers. And we're also joined at the clinic by volunteer lawyers, and the clinic was sort of an employment law barometer for workers in California. The expansion throughout the state was really Joan's initiative, saying, hey, where do we need to be? We looked at various spots where low-wage workers were, as well as law schools that we could partner with when we're doing our clinic. We ended up taking the clinic to a variety of places throughout the state. And now we're helping 3,000 people a year, which was a huge increase compared to what it was back in '91 when I started.
The work that our office does on behalf of undocumented workers is crucially important, particularly in California, where an estimated 1 out of every 11 people employed lacks work authorization. A lot of executive directors would have tried to rein us in or to keep us in safer areas, but Joan had the vision to see that we could have a huge impact, even if it had an element of risk to it.
The impact is enormous. It's an example of how a dedicated group of people can motivate lawyers throughout the community to pitch in and work together for the greater good.
She took a floundering organization and built it into a powerhouse program that tirelessly sought to fight and redress the inequalities that workers faced all over this country.
It's pretty rare to have a case go to the Supreme Court, and one year Bill McNeil and I each had Supreme Court cases, which is very unusual.
Joan built a movement.
Joan Graff deserves to be on Mount Rushmore.
Joan has been really the moving force behind this organization for over 40 years. She has kept it alive when it could easily have tanked for various reasons. She has been graceful, resourceful, flexible, and creative at every turn. She has survived various internal disputes, various external disputes, and she has made Legal Aid at Work into a nationally known and critically important organization.
Joan has really left the organization at its best position in its organizational history. We have 53 dedicated lawyers and staff. We are financially stable, and we We have a 110-year-old foundation, which is built on the belief that all workers, no matter what they look like, where they come from, or how much they earn, have an equal shot at justice. The workers that we serve have never needed us more, and thanks to Joan, we've never been in a better position to help.